This is WSN. Love it or leave it. The underdog's on top, and you can either agree or disagree with her. But either way, the tribe is all here. This is a tribe called Jess. You can call the show anytime at 855-77-WYLDE. That's 855-779-9533.
And welcome to the tribe called Jess. And more than the tribe is all here tonight. I am so excited, and we are coming to you from the Salisbury Studios, fueled by Monster Energy. Thank you, Monster. And by our new partner, Bet Stamp, for all your betting needs. Guys, it's the NFL. It's always sports season somewhere in America. So let's bet, bet, bet. I don't know if it's global or not, so the guys can answer that. Is it global, Johnny Caniford?
No, it's particular to your state that you're in. There's different regulations, but it's all on the website.
So make sure that you are going to signuplogic.com/Wylde Network. That's WYLDE. And again, we are coming from the Salisbury Studios, and I got a show for you tonight and lots of people here. So make sure you're going to the YouTube channel on Wylde Network, and you will see us live there. Make sure you guys are subscribing, and make sure you're going to Facebook and all our socials and following the Wylde Network and Tribe Called Jess. We do have a YouTube chat going tonight, and we would love to hear your comments, even the mean ones, and get your opinions, your questions. So please go to YouTube, to the Wylde Network, and join in our YouTube chat. So what's everybody doing? I got Frank the Tank, Frankie Diaz, and I have Julio July Diaz, and I have my lifer Jeff and Johnny Caniford, and I have David here, of course, accompanied or brought by one of my very best friends, Millie. Hi, Millie.
Hey.
I like that. David brought to you by Millie.
David brought to you by Millie. I like
That's
it.
how I introduce myself.
And then one of your very favorites, guys out there listening, it is Lauryn, all the way from Texas on Zoom, and we miss her so much.
Aww.
Hey, Lauryn.
Hello.
We miss you
Thanks
so
for having
much.
me on. I know, I miss you. I wish I could be there.
Yeah, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
can you hear me? No?
Nope.
One sec. I'll keep talking while we are getting Lauryn's sound back. I'm super excited that Millie and Lauryn are here, two of my favy people, and David, who's always awesome to me and always so grateful to be here. Thank you, David, and for being such
I think we got Lauryn back, maybe?
a fan. Lauryn, are you back?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
Yay!
I
Hi,
don't know what happened. I
Lauryn.
didn't mess with anything. Hi.
We miss you so, so much. How's it going out there in Texas?
It is awesome. I absolutely love it, but I do miss you guys, and I wish I could be there.
I miss you.
We miss you too.
The fights too. D and I, but that's okay. I suffer through by myself with D. No, I'm just kidding. And I know Jeff misses you as well, and you're so appreciated, and people ask about you all the time. Give us a little tidbit about what you're doing out there. Plug yourself if you'd like, and if not, that's okay. I know you're doing big things.
Yeah, thank you. So I am doing real estate investing. So I am buying properties with none of my own money using private money lenders. So I have partners that come in and they'll make double-digit returns. So anybody can do it. You don't have to be an accredited investor, and you get secured on the property through a lien. And then you typically will make a return within 6 to 9 months. And then I'm also capital raising on multifamily deals and business acquisition deals. So anybody that's looking to invest and make returns, I'm your girl.
Well, there you go. And how do people get in touch with you for that, sweetie?
So they can reach out to me. I have a separate Instagram that's Wealth with Low, or you can email me at konastrategicconsulting@gmail.com.
That is awesome. And okay, he's opening the YouTube chat. I'm super proud of you. We do miss you. I'm excited. I might have the opportunity to see you in the next few months. So that is awesome. How's everybody else doing tonight? Everybody want to say hi real quick? Frankie, I know you're fired up. You're fired up at me. We had a little issue today, Frankie.
Hey, Lauryn, how are you?
You're not saying hi to me.
I'm glad you're here because Jessica and I are beefing.
If this is the worst beef I have, thank God. All right, what's up, Julio, since he ain't saying shit?
Oh, nothing much. Just, trying out the new Monster Mean Bean.
Mean bean?
Yeah, it's like coffee flavored Monster.
Oh, nice.
It's a good one. I like
it
that
good?
one.
Yeah, no, it's actually like surprisingly good.
Does it taste like coffee?
I mean, like the
Like
other
a cold-
fake coffee ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You had it, Lauryn?
No, I haven't, but it sounds interesting.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, I'll try it. Millie, how we
Java
doing,
Monster.
baby?
Oh, great. Thank you.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you're out there bartending,
Yes.
sommeliering.
Yeah, I just got my intro to sommelier.
Yeah. I'm proud of
That
you.
was fun. I got to go to DC for 2 days. I haven't been to DC for a while.
She rocked it.
You rocked it. You did rock it. I saw. Congratulations. We're super proud of you. So anybody out there looking for a sommelier, I know you have a job. Where are you working? Where can people come visit you?
I'm working in Middleburg at Tremolo Wine Bar.
Nice. It's a really nice place. I've been
Yeah.
there before. That's awesome. And David, what's up with you?
I'm just chilling.
You're just chilling. David's just like, I'm here. I'm here, dude. Brought to you by Millie.
He's
Brought
on
to you by
fishing.
Millie. Well, we have a
Every day.
we have a show. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to my girlfriend Erica. We went out last night to Transit for her birthday. We had a great time. It's a great party that's been going on for 20 years. So if you're in the underground scene, it was interesting, fun, and just reminding me of an old school, proper rave type party where people were there for the music and nothing else. I saw people, quite older than me that I felt like I would see at just the Home Depot on a regular afternoon, and they're out there doing proper rave dances. And I'm like, oh, I would have never thought. So it was great. Check that party out. And we just had a great time. And Erica is one of my closest friends. She's gotten me through a lot of crap, and we just have fun together. And we're evil together. So it's the one person I can be a bit evil with. Say happy birthday to Erica.
That's right. Happy birthday.
So I'm super happy to have you guys. I brought the girls on because we're going to talk a lot of things women. Women, I always hear the statement that we're always there for each other and support of other women. I call bullshit on 50% of that, and we'll talk about why. I'll talk about a little bit of hyper independence, and then talk about why women stop putting out for you. There was a interesting reel that came out with two ladies talking on a podcast, and I have a opinion I think might surprise people, but I did get poll results, and it was interesting to who replied. So what do you think of it? Lauryn, when we talked about the topics, what were you thinking about that? Because it's like one big family when everybody's here. We should have just drank.
I know I should have flew into town. So are we talking about the girls being on the same team kind of thing? Is that what
Well,
we're
we're
going
going to get to the women, but when we were kind of talking about the subjects, I think women talk about this stuff, but I don't think they're super I don't think women are as transparent as we should be about really what goes on between women on women, and not in the way you guys are thinking.
Absolutely. I mean, coming from firsthand experience, I had a so-called best friend that pursued a boyfriend that I had, or ex-boyfriend that I had just broken up with, was calling me. How are things going? I'm here to support you. You go, girl. And meanwhile, she's meeting up with him and taking him milkshakes and doing all the things. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of, fakeness. I think you find your girls like me and you, and there's,
Yeah.
you find your group of girls, but overall, I think it's really hard to trust girls because they're nice to your face, but behind your back, it's a different story.
Yeah, and we're going to get into it. We have a lot to get to prior to that. But Millie, when I presented this subject to you, and I know you commented on Facebook as well, some girls get very tense when I bring stuff like this up. What were you thinking? You do not. You're an open book, and that's why I love you, and you spit real shit.
Spit bars.
I mean, Lauryn said a lot of the stuff that I feel too. A lot of girls are they're nice to you, and then behind your back,
Yeah.
The mean girl.
mean girl.
Well, we know I don't like the mean girl, but we
Talk a
will.
lot of stuff.
And I think there's a fine line between being mean, being blunt, or and then being able to just, what I have to do often is go, I can't be close to these people because I'm too blunt. It's not worth it. I can't, because I'm not going to change, and they can't handle honesty. And I have to go, am I being mean? Am I being honest? And so my circle can handle my strength, and if they can't, I can't be friends with them, and that's nothing wrong with them.
Right.
So, But before we get to all that, I love having it here as a family. Guys, what are you excited to hear about this subject? And then we're going to get on to, I want to do a little September 11th and a little triggers that happened this week, some news. And then you guys, Frankie and Julio, had some roundtable questions for us ladies, and then we'll dive right into the topics. But what were you thinking, Frankie?
I think we started talking about it last week, the cheating part.
Well, we're going to get to it.
That's the one I'm really curious to see what you ladies think about that subject.
About women specifically and cheating, correct?
Yes.
I just want to kind of preface it because not everybody watched last week that might be out there. Guys, if you are tuning in or you happen to see us on Facebook, log into YouTube and join the YouTube chat. We had so much fun with that. Maybe I'm sucking at promoting it good enough.
Wait, you're what?
Sucking it on at promoting it good enough. I don't know. Does that sound right? I
You
don't
say
even
you're
know.
sucking it.
She's not good at sucking it. What was it?
No, she's sucking at it.
Suck it to it.
Nobody's ever given me a bad review, boys. Not yet.
It's getting dirty already.
It's getting of course it's dirty. I said to someone today, this is the only country where people spit out babies and then they're shocked when people talk about sex or have sex. I'm like, well, where do you think the population came from? I'm
No,
like,
not from spitting on that thing.
Only country that spits.
talk to you.
Only country that spits out babies. The other one swallows them.
Spit on that thing. There was a great story on her, and remind me if you can remind me. We'll bring that up next week because it's a little.
What's the name of her
intricate.
podcast? I love the name.
I can't remember, but someone called it kind of like I didn't know. I was like, yes. So I really like that lady.
There's a podcast, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a really good savant. What do you think of Hawk to a Girl, Lauryn?
I think it's like the pod tour
I
or
think
something like
she's
that.
hilarious, but I think it's funny that one video and her whole life changed.
It's crazy, right? Just get drunk and go out and tell the truth, like we were talking about women. Just spit on that thing, and you too might make like $1 million in your first weekend in
like a cute
merchandise.
Southern girl with a thick accent.
She's really actually smart. She has one of the best hearts. She buys the animals food all the time and drops them off at shelters. I'm a huge fan. I'm in. As soon as she did that, I'm in. She's very genuine. Have you watched her at all?
Good
Millie's
personality.
like, no. She does. She has a really good personality, and she's honest, and I love it. So, but before we move forward, guys, I do want to mention yesterday, of course, was September 11th.
Yes.
And God, please don't let me cry. It's the one thing, a couple things in life make me cry, and it is one of the things that just can really bring immediate tears to my eyes. And it's just so sad and heartbreaking. I mean, I think we were all in an age where we really lived through it. We weren't kids. And we really lived through it. Some of my other friends, I don't think they grasped because they were just so young. That's okay. And it was just one of those times in history where it was stunning. It was sad. It was so scary because you didn't know what was going on. And listening back to the stories and just knowing that human life is so valuable. And it was I think what makes me cry is I do genuinely love this country because inherently I believe that we are a good-hearted and kind country when we're together. And when we're cohesive, we're just such a superpower. And I value each and every American, even though I might argue with them, right? And life is fleeting, but when you see these beautiful lives with beautiful stories or the loved ones telling the stories and you think that life was just taken by pure hate. And that, I'm trying not to cry. It breaks my fucking heart because it's just like this is our country. And I hope that when we look back on days, and I know it probably won't happen, and we remember that what makes us a superpower is when we are united. It doesn't mean we agree with each other. And when we show love and respect, that's what makes us a superpower. Because when we come unglued, the rest of the world gets scared. And that shows you we're a superpower and how much influence that we have. So I just want to remember the families and obviously the people lost, the families that are still suffering, and obviously all the first responders. And then, of course, our military day in and day out that serves us because freedom isn't free. And we forget that. We forget that the every simple day things that we do is as somebody is that costs somebody something, whether sacrifice of time with family or spouse, kids, whatever that is for them, that's a sacrifice of time that we don't have to make and that they make all the time. And it's not free. And many countries don't have the affordability of freedom and all those things that we have. So I just wanted to make sure that we talked about it because I don't want to ever forget that. And at the same time, I wish it never happened, you know.
Yeah. So
Any words from anybody?
Dog will fight when you rattle his.
No. Lauryn, any words on that? Anybody want to say anything in regards to the 9/11? I don't want to. Some people.
Yeah, I think that was very well said. I think that, you know, it's important that no longer, or no matter how far we get from the date that it happened, to always remember. I think that that's really important.
And I think it's important for people to remember, and I hope they realize how fleeting freedom can be. We were. I say none of that was lucky. That could have gone way further and gotten way worse. And we've never experienced that, but yet other countries experience that every single day. They don't get the luxury of getting in their car and going to get their nails done because they might get killed on the way and they don't have nail salons. And that sounds funny, but it's true. You know. So anyway, Frankie, anything? Millie, I just want to make sure I go around robin.
no, you said everything perfectly.
David.
And
Yep.
you know, being from this area, it hit close to home.
Oh, that's horrible.
You know, my ex-wife is from New York, so it hit here, it hit over there. I think I mentioned to you that my mom's best friend's husband was on the plane that hit the Pentagon.
Yeah.
So that was really hard to see, mom cry and be so devastated when that happened.
Yeah. And the girl that was teaching my class, I was working for a networking company at the time, and her fiance, she was teaching our class and was desperately, his name was Will, calling him, and he ended up passing in one of the World Trades. And it was a different experience for me because of that, to see that fear and terror firsthand, because she couldn't find him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. And then obviously my friend Sean and I drove to the Pentagon the next day and got as close as we could. But so many things were blocked off, and there were armored, what do you call it, tanks and
Yeah, the Hummers
everything
driving
was
around.
out.
Yeah, I lived in downtown at
Yeah.
that moment, so it was crazy.
Weapons. So anyway, I didn't want to get too sad, but I did want to mention it because I think it's important. It's very important. It's more important than anything else this week that has gone on.
Yeah, and I think we also learned the true definition of heroes, right?
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a way that,
Oh,
while
God.
so many people were fleeing, we had so many, responders just running
Running
towards
in.
the
Yeah.
areas to help.
Yeah. John?
No, I was just going to say some of the stories that came out afterwards, of people that contributed to help, the situation
Oh, God.
besides, military and police and fire and rescue. Like that story about the boat, it was like the tugboat drivers that were helping get people off the island and get them back to Jersey.
Yeah.
And that documentary is just, there's so many like incredible stories. Even like there was one that this guy was trying to break the windows at the Pentagon and couldn't get this lady out, and it was like the 10-year anniversary. They like reunited them for the first time.
Oh, that's
He had no idea that she was still alive, and yeah, there's just so many
Wow.
incredible things that
That's cool.
through an insane time of your life that. I don't know, you get these incredible little victories.
Yeah, I listened actually to the last survivor. You saw it? I sent it to you, Julio. The last survivor of that got out of the World Trade, the Tower 2. I forget what was hit first, but and it was heartbreaking to listen to. Also, there were happy parts, meaning his story leading up, but the grief and PTSD he had to deal with after they moved back to Canada. They come back here a few times a year, and then obviously every 5 years he comes back on the anniversary. So, anyway, we will move on. Also, rest in peace to James Earl Jones.
Oh yeah.
The voice of Darth Vader and Mufasa. Thank you. What a great! He's awesome. 90, I think.
Amazing
93?
career. He had a really great career.
What a great career! What a voice! What a voice! Lauren, did you hear about that?
I did not. I was in Italy, so I haven't been on
Well, I
social
hate you now. We can't. Is there any way to throw Lauren up next to me, John, so I can see her? Because there we go. So I feel like she's a part of it.
She was in Italy, and those Italian men were distracting her.
Did you meet any hot
I
boys?
totally get it. I understand what you're saying,
Did you meet
Lauren.
any hot boys? Yes or no?
You be distracted by the hot men too.
I have to say I was a little I don't want to say disappointed. I love traveling. But I think because I've gone to such like other really worldly, like super just heavy in culture, like when I went to Africa on the safari and to Egypt, it was very much a tourist trap the majority of the time. Now, granted, like if I were to ever go back, I would go way further out than Rome and kind of all the sites that I have to, if you go to Italy, you have to see those sites. So I'm glad but my favorite spot was in Tuscany. My girlfriend that went with me, we stayed at the castle, and we call it real Italy because we were just out in the middle of nowhere, and we were actually in real Italian neighborhoods. So
that's awesome. Cool. So did you meet hot boys or what? That didn't answer my question. I want to know. No,
I didn't know. Me and my girlfriend were like, "What's going on?" Hollywood.
I know.
It's a myth.
The same thing would happen.
She said it's
to
a
me.
tourist trap. It's a myth.
Lauren, the same thing would happen to me. It doesn't matter where I travel. In my head, I'm like, I'm gonna meet a guy. Even if we just have a vacation romance, never happens. I'm having too much fun.
I mean, I'm sure if you look hard enough, you can find 3.3. Inches of fun.
3.3 inches. Lauren wasn't on that episode where Gabby says that she likes 3.3 inch dicks. Oh my God. Anyway, so the second thing we have is the NFL. Commanders sucked, of course, but our quarterback looks good. Our quarterback looks good.
Tough watch.
Oshie and Frankie are matching tonight. I can hear you guys. Or I hear something.
A very special episode.
John, I can hear something.
Sorry, I didn't know my microphone was on.
Oh.
I was gonna chime in, but it was getting too late.
What?
Can you hear it? Hold on. It popped me up.
Is this for Lauren or me?
This is for you. Now on a very special episode of A Tribe Called Jess.
Playing the violin.
You're getting all serious, yeah.
That's okay. Sometimes we gotta get a little cereal over here.
Oh.
Don't worry, we'll be naughty soon, and you'll be wishing I was more serious because I am in my villain era tonight, and I think for the rest of my life. Braxton Berrios is playing tonight. Alex Earl's boyfriend for the Miami Dolphins, so that's going on tonight. And we had an interesting debate, and obviously, I don't talk about politics, but protect your cats, dogs, and your ducks. I literally take away anybody's name, guys. I won't do it. But I sat up in bed, and at the same time, Oshie ran under the covers. I'm like, hide, Oshie, run, you're gonna get eaten. Did you watch the debate?
No. I was asking David about that. I keep seeing all this stuff about cats and dogs. I'm like, what's going on?
Asking David about
David, sometimes he knows.
You were with me. I didn't watch it.
Hold on. David's eating that kitty.
Yeah. What is this about getting this?
Oh, that's good.
Lauren, did you see the cat and dog eating?
I did not. I saw there's been a bunch of reels about it, but I have not seen the actual debate.
So there's a story in Ohio. I'm not going to comment because everybody has a different side of what's real news, fake news, and somewhere in between. But that former President Trump brought up during the debate, and he said I think he said migrants. I don't, if I'm wrong, are in Ohio eating your cats, dogs, and ducks.
What?
And look, I'm not going to comment on the rest of the story. But to hear that come out of anyone in a debate, I don't care who it is, what side, I sat up and I'm like, who's eating cats, dogs, and ducks? And so it went wild. Like everybody's marking them safe, their dogs safe.
Because there's a news story about it. That's why I brought it up.
I saw, and 20 million people had to send me one real thing I checked out, and then a bunch of different news sources that I couldn't verify. So I just
I don't
gave
know,
up.
man. Some of them carry out spots. I'd be chewing that meat.
One of the best real.
I got Chinese when watching that part of the debate. As I was picking up my Chinese food, I was just.
She's
Getting a little close to home.
He said that the lady said Donald Trump.
Oh my God, I was just dying, and the reels and everything that came out. But the one that won the internet for me, I posted in my story today, and I got it a couple days ago, but I waited on it, and it said, "Everybody getting their cat ate but me." Do you guys follow any of the overheard districts? So you can follow them anywhere. It's overheard LA, overheard. So I follow different ones on Instagram, and it's. So Overheard has a team in each city, and they go around and overheard things they hear in bars or on trains, and they put them on memes, and it is hysterical. I highly recommend. Carrie Ann turned me on that a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you should be making these, Julio.
I know. I was
I'm
thinking
glad you
about
guys
that
have
too.
nothing to say about the cats and the dogs and the ducks.
I mean, everyone's pretty much said what needs to be said already.
I mean, in some cultures, it's a delicatessen.
My
I mean, people eat duck all the time. What's the problem
my
with that?
tribe died tonight. Nobody's saying anything but me.
I've been saying, like, what the duck? There, we got one.
Somebody complimented you at my gym. They're like, you know, the guy, he says the one-liners. I'm like, Julio. They're like, oh my God, it's so funny.
What's happening?
So you do. I always hear them in replay. I don't hear them a lot when I'm.
Wait until she hears the one-liner panty droppers.
The 100 penny drop.
I have yet to. Oh God. Do not put that on my show ever again. I only ask that, Sean. Please, no.
Oh, that just reminds me of the other thing that he
I'm
said
now
that one time
disturbed.
too.
I'm now disturbed.
About grabbing somebody
joking,
by the
John.
kitty.
I told you.
I told you.
Told you I heard that.
What?
You did. You did.
I
bring
said,
this up.
wasn't he the same guy that said grab somebody in the
And the kitty.
By the
in the
kitty?
kitty?
Was he the same guy, our former
Oh.
president?
Yes.
I don't listen to him.
Yeah, that was a thing.
And there, and that one he was holding on to too.
Oh God! And then we got Taylor Swift going out there and posting her endorsement of Kamala Harris. Kamala, guys, Kamala. Just in case anybody needs to mispronounce it anymore. Anyway, I thought Taylor's letter was very fair and eloquent and well written, but it triggered the entire internet all the way around, which was fun to watch. And I even posted it knowing I was gonna. Didn't matter what I said on it, was going to get it. And it was some interesting discussions, but some were very logical, and I quite enjoyed them. And Nancy was supposed to be here tonight, and we had a really great conversation because Nancy and I differ highly on about 3 different things. And each of us is loyal to what we believe in, depending on what's, going on. I'm not ever going to be loyal to any party. I'm not like that. And but what I love about Nancy, and we talked about it this week after the debate, is we have had heated, over the last 2015, heated discussions, but we always stay in respect. We always listen to each other. And I think she's helped create a space where I can understand where I differ, where when I'm having a logical, not a bashing with somebody, conversation, I can show more compassionate maybe for where they're coming from, even though I might not agree. It's okay to disagree. And I think we forgot that. I'm still going to say what I think in my inner circle.
Well, that's why I'm fair. I make fun of both. That's why that's why I put that meme.
You make fun of both cats,
Dude,
dogs,
that
and
meme
ducks,
was
bro.
funny.
Let me be clear. It is a privilege and an honor to vote in this country. I don't care who you vote for. It is a right not afforded to many around the globe, and you should get out there, educate yourself on issues that are important to you, and vote accordingly. Period. The end. I will drive people to polls. I don't need who to know you vote for. I hope you get to the polls, and I will help you get there. If people need help registering to vote, DM me. I will send you the information or help you. People are scared to register to vote. Some people don't understand how to register to vote. We're very blessed to be in a very robust part of the country. So I think, I thought it was, yes, some of the memes were funny. And my favorite was the hypocrisy that one billionaire The 1.2 billionaire girl can possibly understand struggle, but the 3.8 net million billionaire with the $100 million jet with the gold-plated seatbelts absolutely could understand your struggle of the last 3 years. And I'm not mad at either of them for being wealthy. I'm mad at everybody for saying one's bad and one's good. I'm like, they're both billionaires.
One of them understands football better, so.
Dude, the one I thought was funny when it said, of course she endorsed Harris because all her songs are about writing about the wrong guy.
Lauryn, any opinions here?
So I want to know the whole endorsement, like her writing a letter. Like, did somebody ask her for that? Or
No.
No.
I say letter. I'm sorry. It was a post, and you can read it on her. It was a post. It looked like a letter. So I posted the picture. It was a picture.
Okay.
You can see it on my Facebook wall.
The picture?
It was a picture of her writing. You can see it on her
She
stuff.
just said who she was endorsing,
She just said who
and
she
then
was
she
endorsing.
encouraged
That's it.
everybody to do their research and, vote according to who they believe.
And register to vote. That's what she did.
And I think that's the most important is rather than, and I think what you were talking about where when you have a conversation with somebody, rather than entering it to try and change somebody's mind, just you voice how you feel, they voice how they feel. And if you have differing opinions, that's fine. And you can still be friends. I think where we've gotten lost is we become hateful to anybody that's not on the same side that we are. Like I have friends that are on the opposite side that I am, and that's fine. Like you vote feel is right, and I'll vote what I feel is right. And at the end of the day, we can still be friends. As long as it doesn't turn hateful and like you said, it stays respectful, then I don't care.
So I told Jessica all the time, I said, I don't get mad at her because she's wrong. She has her own opinion.
Fucking assholes. I think the great thing, though, and then let's move on to some juicy shit. I think the good thing and the misleading thing is, yes, I think that Taylor, her influence, the Swiftie effect, could affect margins because the Swiftie army is real. So I think people are missing the boat if they're not educated on that. However, I think we discredit younger generations. Gen Z Gen Z runs from 13 to the average 26, the average age being 19. So they're now in prime voting age, right? The average. And while they can be influenced, they're very much about not being influenced. And if you don't show up authentically with Gen Z, they don't give a fuck about you, whether they believe it or not. If they think you're fake, they don't care. And that's why I tell people, stop disregarding young people. Pay attention. They're the ones that are going to move up, and they will change things. And if you're not listening and understanding how the generation as a whole is thinking, you're going to fail miserably. So in anything, like whether that's a workspace, this, whatever.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Any thoughts? You have kids that are that age.
No, I hope they do step up. I hope that
no, I mean,
generation does step up and change things. I mean, my kids keep talking to one of my daughters is always like, your generation did this and that. And I'm like,
all generations say that.
Yeah.
They all want to blame
But I'm
each
like,
other.
I can't wait for you to get older and to change things and
mess things up too.
But wouldn't you say that generation?
I mean, that's part of it.
And I support all kinds of polls.
I bet you do. Wouldn't you say that generation though is definitely more like with Nico being 21? They're driven by the authenticity of another. They don't give a shit about your big company or your ad or your celebrity status. They're just like, what the fuck ever. They're like, I like you because you're telling me the truth. And they can see right through people. I notice it all the time on the TikToks. Yeah.
I think my kids grew up like old school the way that I did. And sometimes they kind of are like on the border old school. And then they have this like new way of thinking with the kids that they go to school with.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's a little confusing.
I get it.
I'm like, what?
Well, they're always going to be kids, right?
Yeah.
But I do think they're a less influenced generation than a lot. So moving on, real quick, we had the VMAs last night. It was awesome. Katy Perry. We had Taylor winning most individual artist ever, the most VMAs, tied with Beyonce for all around, but individual artist because Beyonce was with Destiny's Child at one point, right? Destiny's Child. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Eminem cleaning up most male individual ever with 14. Cool. He's awesome. Opening with Houdini and somebody love me. What's the anyway?
Somebody
doesn't matter. But then we had Katy Perry getting the Vanguard Award. And this is going to open Frankie with his can of worms. And Orlando Bloom, her husband, introduced her, spoke such kind words. Also, Travis was mentioned by Taylor. Amazing. And then Katie slides and they do a make out on stage, and it was amazing because I like Orlando Bloom and Katy Perry. I really do. So Frankie sends this picture, and we're going to throw it up on the screen. And let me tell you my retort, and then I want the guys to say what they see and what Millie and them say what they see. So he sends it in our group chat, and I'm like, what are you asking me to look at? And he's like, what, you don't see it? And I'm like, no. And then finally I'm like, do you think he's looking at Kim? He looks like he's looking at the floor or in mid like this, about to go up. I don't think he's looking at her tits. And he says, yes, he is. So go ahead.
I didn't say any of that. Don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say any of that.
Don't put tits
All right,
in
let
the
me
mouth.
read
I put the picture up, and I said, ladies, if your man was doing this, how would you feel? How would you react? That's all I said. I didn't say he was looking at this or he was looking at that. You know, I said, look at the picture.
If your man's is helping you to get your award from the VMAs, how would you react? What else are you trying to get at?
I'm trying to figure out what's the thing poking out of the left side of her dress, the blue.
Oh, it's the wire thing that makes the dress like that little, because she always wears kind of funky.
I thought it was one of those trick photos. Like
No.
Is her husband's eyes poking out? Looking at Kimmy.
Lauren,
What
what
I
do you,
think.
Jeff, what do you think?
That's his hard on sticking through her dress.
Oh, God. I hope so. God, that would be a
I mean,
lot.
he might be staring at her ass. He also might have just caught it at an awkward
That's what I thought.
timing.
Like, I don't feel like
Who knows? Who cares?
Paparazzi gonna pop.
Well, Frankie did. He sent it.
No, so it was because it came out online on social media.
I
and they had a reel on it, and they were saying, hey.
Even she said, good on him.
Well, yeah, so a photographer caught it and put it, they put it on social media, and they asked Katy Perry about it, and she just said, good for him. Like, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I mean, so I think my retort back to you, if he was looking, I was like, I'd look at her tits too. She has nice tits.
I mean, I brought it up because it's
All
going
right. So we're leading into a round table, and we had a show last week, ladies. This is where you ladies come in. We had a show last week about is flirting cheating and the way women cheat differently. And the guys had a few questions. So I'm going to let Frankie ask the one about Orlando, and Kate, the question you devised about that. Julio asked one, and then I'm going to round up the one you want to know about, Frankie.
I'm gonna try not hurt myself asking my question.
You want me to ask first? So the picture isn't necessarily about Orlando Bloom. I don't care if he was looking at whatever, blank space. But it just brought up the question for me to be able to ask you ladies. How would you feel if you're with your dude, with your man, and he checks out other women in front of you? Like, how does that make you feel? And do you consider that cheating?
Let's start with you, Millie, since your man is right here.
I don't feel like that's cheating, and I know that he's a guy and he's going to look, and I mean it doesn't mean it's not going to hurt my feelings a little bit, but I understand that that's what I mean. Guys are about looks, right? They are visual. They look at everything.
Are they like,
I like Millie's strong. They look
at everything, So I mean, I get it. I'm not gonna be mad about it, and I don't think it's cheating.
David's like, my eyes are
and
Lauren,
if I can add in on that,
Hold on.
what I really respect about Millie is she understands that, and she'll also let me know if she's not feeling it, and I respect that, and we have a communication about it, and it doesn't happen that much, but sometimes she's like, hey, blah, 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 I was looking at you. And I'm like, oh, they are? I didn't know. And then I do something so it's not a factor. And it's great because she gives me that opportunity to change the situation so it isn't an issue at all.
Yeah.
And I love that.
And communication is key. Lauren, what do you think about this?
It should be like, stop drooling.
I just have to say that's a healthy relationship, what they were just talking about. I don't think it's cheating at all. I mean, I definitely think Millie said it really well. I think men are very visual. I mean, at the end of the day, us women, we dress beautiful and we say we do it for ourselves. And yes, we do look good, feel good. But there's also an aspect where we do it to men, right?
As we should.
As you should. And I think you're not doing it just for men, but that is an aspect of it. And I also think that there's a line, right? So you can look, like I look at women, I check women out, but you can also be disrespectful. Like if you're gawking,
Correct.
and staring all night long, then I'm going to have something to say. I still don't think it's cheating, but like I'm going to look if a girl has a nice ass, I'm going to look if she's got nice,
I love you.
I'll say something. I'll be like, damn, she looks good.
Yeah.
Oh, so your man can say that too? So it's okay if your man says that? You're like, oh, damn, look at that ass.
I mean, if we have enough, Millie, you guys have a really good relationship to where like maybe that's, you guys have built that to where he can like kind of joke around and you giggle and it's whatever and you move on. So I think when you have trust in a relationship, I think you can definitely be at a point where it's like, she has a nice ass, and you keep it moving.
I think it's all in context, right?
Yeah.
Like
As long as their ass is not nicer than, the
Lauren,
girlfriends, there should be fine.
what you said was correct. I think
I
there's
mean,
a
I have a
different.
nice ass, so it's like if he, I want him to acknowledge that.
So, Lauren, as long as the other girl whose ass the guy's looking at isn't nicer than yours, then you're fine, right?
I mean,
that-
I know I have a banging body, right? Jess, you have a banging body. So like, if my man is so consumed with another woman, then like, I just don't, I don't.
I'm with you, saying, girl. I'm with you.
It was a yes or no question.
What'd you say?
It was a yes or no question, but I'm taking notes.
Don't harass
everything.
my guest, or she's not going to come back. And she's your buddy.
That's why I'm valuing her. She's my buddy.
So looks are so with you.
That sounds like he's thinking about
Hold on.
for her later. He's putting it in his spank bank what she's responding.
I mean,
He's
John
like,
had her adjust the camera for a reason. So.
The things I'm gonna do to you thinking about her.
Lauren, what did you say? What was your final thing there?
I would say maybe the comment might be taking it a little far, but I don't think like a simple look I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I think I don't think a simple look. I think first of all, you gauge your man, and he can gauge you. There's a difference between looking and gawking. There's a difference between the way somebody visually is taking in somebody. I agree 100%. Guys are visual. If you have the expectation they're never gonna look at anybody but you might as well just stay single, because that doesn't mean their values don't hold true and they're not running to go fuck that girl. Like,
Right.
let's
Frankie,
be
what's
clear.
the word you learned today? Your word of the day from your daughter. When you see that.
That gyat.
I've heard it.
It's GYAT.
My
It's
son
supposed to
says
mean
it.
like
Yeah.
god damn,
Yeah.
like especially when
Yeah.
you refer to an ass.
Nico says
Yeah,
it.
that's an ass.
Oh God.
So as long as you don't react like that,
Okay, so we got to move on because we have a lot to cover. Julio, what's your question?
You got a lot
damn
of
it.
ass to cover.
That was really good.
Well, my kitty's not even getting licked, and everybody's cat's getting ate. All right, go.
Full course experience.
Full course.
Um,
Want some duck? For
Jesus Christ,
some
you're gonna-
dick for dessert. I meant.
What?
I said some duck for dessert. I meant dick.
Oh, that's what I thought you said the first time.
Very good.
All right. So you're gonna kill me just because I was going over in my head so many times. I kind of forgot how to word it.
Okay, I'm gonna help you.
Yes, please.
Okay, so Julio asked
Guide
in a
me.
very horrible way, and I rephrased for him. No, I'm kidding.
He was gonna
didn't.
be like, ladies, in your
He was
personal
gonna ask you about
experience.
hobbies and video games. I'm like, no.
It was an example.
Does somebody, ladies, listen to me because it's tricky. Does someone being being more attractive in their appearance through your experience or with your friends make a woman more willing to put up with their shit, annoying habits, and not shit like nefarious
Yeah,
shit.
not horrible stuff.
No, like their annoying things, their habits, their stupid hobbies.
Like a little, yeah, there you go.
Would them being more attractive make you more willing to put up with it?
Asking for a friend.
Lauryn?
I would say not intentionally, but psychologically, yes.
Yes.
I don't know. Women, once they love, they love.
Very true.
Yeah, it's like all the stuff that you consider
Okay, hold on.
gross, they
then
put up with.
Let's back up and punt. I agree with that 100%, Frankie. Let's say.
I mean, in my experience as a girl.
Let's say. No, you're right. You are right in that. I'm saying, okay, let's say in the first month, 2 months, when you're at that, before you're all the way in and you're like willing to listen to them fart in bed and hold your head under the covers.
Jesus all right, so you're only 2 inches in, not all the way in yet.
You're not 3.3 in yet. You're only 2.
So, Lauryn, I agree with you. I think that psychologically in those beginning stages, and it sounds horrible, that yes, it makes a difference. Consciously, you're not, I don't think you're actually thinking that, but I think it naturally happens. And I think guys probably, it happens the same to them too in those initial stages. Millie? And it's relative to what you find attractive too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Well, everybody's different, but say to them, to you,
yeah, to what you find attractive.
You might find who I find attractive horrible looking, and I might find them a 10.
Yeah, you might have bad taste. It don't matter, but that's what you find attractive.
We know I do. Billy?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
For me?
She just looked at David and thought of all his horrible habits that annoy her that she puts up with.
I mean, originally I was going to say no, but then hearing what Frankie said, a woman loves and they put up with more than they would. Like I don't know. I say no. I mean, when he first asked it, I was just like, no.
I think consciously, no. I absolutely would not go in, you're better looking, so you're annoying the fuck out of me.
No, come on.
But subconsciously, I think that's absolutely
But then when people say attractive, like I'm not attractive to like physical stuff.
She's not attracted to good-looking guys.
I mean, you've seen the guys I've dated. They're not.
Good.
David. I mean, David is.
David, she is just killing you right now.
David is like king.
Not good looking.
This is the Seinfeld episode where George. I don't need to date good-looking men.
David is like is the king out of everybody I've ever been with. So like I thinking back, I'm like, I don't know.
Oh my God, that's bad looking. We're fucking
no, but like, you know, an example would probably be like maybe the dude's not that smart. You know, he's
Okay, well, I'm not dating anybody not
No, but I'm saying, but he's really hot. Sometimes you might put up with it. You might date him a little longer than you normally would if he wasn't that hot looking.
I'm still gonna say no.
Yeah,
I still say.
I think I'm on the page of Lauryn. It's not conscious. Like you're not thinking to do that, but I think it does happen. I think we'd be liars say it doesn't happen.
I think something glasses though.
And then real quick, guys, let's go round robin.
You first meet somebody.
Guys, real quick, is flirting cheating? Real quick answers from the ladies. Is flirting cheating?
It has to be yes or no, or it has to be circumstance.
Yes or no?
Yes or no? Let's just say, is flirting cheating?
Yes.
Lauren?
Yeah. Yes, because women cheat psychologically, so yeah.
Ooh,
that is very interesting.
Thank you, Lauryn, for that insight.
I think we had a whole show on this.
Well, if you were a woman, Jess, what do you think?
I'm gonna go. Okay. Psychologist said, and I am this type of person, innocent flirting. I'm a very charismatic, a very touchy-feely person with my friends, with family, with everybody, and I always want to make people feel good when I see them, whether that's a coworker, whoever, whatever. And a lot of people would consider that flirting. In my mind, I'm not flirting at all, and I have no ill intention. So I think I don't think it's one size fits all. The answer is what we came down to last week for me, at least based on what I read and also what I think. I think you got to know your partner. If my partner's super charismatic and I am too, and we're always like social talking, some people might think that's flirting. But if he's not, and then all of a sudden he is, or certain things are changing, I absolutely do. I think you got to gauge that again for yourself.
So yes or no?
I kind of agree with Jess though. It's the audience too, because sometimes people come at you and they're trying to make something that you're doing into flirting, and it's like I'm being social. No, I'm having fun. Like
two buds holding hands here, Billy. Just two buddies holding hands.
Everyone
We're
loves
friends.
David.
We're friends. So
and I have to say, like, I've been with somebody I've been with multiple, like my ex-boyfriends have all been super insecure to where like I could smile and say hey to somebody that I went to high school with, and it would be like, oh, you were flirting.
Yeah.
But like to me, a hi and the hug, like, you know, we've talked about hugs on the show before. Like, how long do you hug? How long is a hug okay when you're in a relationship? I remember we talked about that. What was it last year?
Yeah. It was my birthday, I think, and it was 12 seconds. 6 seconds or
Whoa.
12 seconds.
3.3
It releases
seconds.
oxytocin. I followed up with that. So the other question.
Any more than 6 seconds and I'm coming.
John, I might cut the Katy Perry reel. We'll do the 2 others, but I'll decide in a minute.
But
so we don't go too far over.
So 12 seconds is the 3.3 of the hugging.
But see, I don't think I completely disagree with what you guys are saying. It doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. It's about the person's intention who's doing the flirting, right? Because
But I
know
agree with you too.
Yeah, because I know, like for example, Jessica, I know how she is, so I know she's not flirting. But if she in her mind, if she purposely is flirting, she's the one that's gonna know. It's not about your partner knowing. It's about how you feel, right? How far you cross that line, and you know when you're doing it because a simple look could be flirting, right? As a dude, you give this woman this look and this and that. Your woman doesn't have to know. She can't even see you, but you know what you're doing, and the other person knows it because there is a sexual vibe. It's sexual. Flirting is sexual. It's not friendly. It's not passive. It's sexual. So
Yeah, it's foreplay.
Exactly.
Foreplay.
I would agree.
I mean, yeah, I disagree. So, I mean, it's fair. It's fair. I get what you're saying, but I don't think it's.
see both sides of
I
it.
agree with you in cases where that's how you are, and if that's always been your intention when you talk to women, I think you're going to think that. I, on the other hand, have been accused of being flirting when I'm just being me, and so.
Then you weren't flirting. Accusing doesn't mean you're flirting.
Partner, but Frankie,
Yeah, he thinks you're, but
if
you're
we
not flirting.
if we all were like nobody was saying flirting, then this wouldn't even be a discussion.
No, but what I'm saying is, you thinking they're flirting isn't flirting because you weren't flirting.
Well,
I'm talking
duh,
about intentional
that's
flirting.
Like if I'm hugging Jeff and I have nothing, but if I'm going out of my way, everything is intent. I mean that's a given. But I mean when we're talking about is flirting cheating, that becomes about you and your partner, no longer about self, of what boundaries you set within your relationship and what communication you've had between partner each other.
Yeah, so okay,
Somebody
I
might
agree.
not be okay with me going up and hugging another dude. Well, I'm not dating that guy because that's just not who I am. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So even your explanation says that flirting isn't right.
Well,
Whether it's intention
about the
or
intent
misunderstood,
of the
flirting
person
isn't
who's
cool.
doing it.
Yeah, but flirting isn't cool, period. If you're with somebody.
Nobody's ever saying flirting. Flirting with intent would always be wrong.
Yes.
But if I am dating, for example, in my last relationship, I could have 20-minute conversations with guys, and he would be absolutely fine. That's one of his strengths. I never had issue there. I can tell you that he's the opposite of me. So if he's having a 20-minute conversation with a girl, which he didn't, so I don't want to misconstrue, there would be something up with that, like that we didn't know or just random. Like, you got to know your partner. You got to set boundaries and know each other. It's relative to how you're making someone else feel. Anytime anybody's going out with bad intent, it's wrong.
So then you do believe flirting is cheating.
I mean, emotionally, probably, yeah. I mean, it's opening Pandora's box. If your intent is wrong,
Exactly.
it's open. But that's not the question. What we talked about between couples last week is flirting cheating, but we're talking about setting boundaries with each other and what is okay and what not one size doesn't fit all. Because I've had girls who I'm friends with and their husband hugs a girl and he's cheated and he's not getting talked to for 2 weeks and she's out the door. But me, I'm like, oh, yeah, of course, hug. I wouldn't even think twice.
Okay.
Well, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to gauge what you're saying. Anything with bad intent, putting a dick in my vagina is also cheating. Anything with bad intent is wrong, but I think it is relative what is allowable within a relationship. And you might look at someone and be like, oh, that's nothing. That's Jess. She's hugging. Somebody else might look at me and go, oh my God, that slut. That's cheating.
Yeah, but you did say that flirting is cheating. That was what we were asking, if it was cheating.
Okay.
Yes or no, right?
Yeah, sure. It's cheating.
I think she's saying if she had the intent to flirt. But like Jess is just very friendly and very outgoing and very personable. So it can come across as flirting when it's not her flirting. That's just, she's an outgoing person. She communicates with people really well. She loves her people. Right?
Yeah, and I agree with that. And that's why I said flirting, you only know if you're doing it yourself.
Correct.
Right?
But I was trying to center it back to the discussion on how you need to communicate your boundaries and stuff, because otherwise you're going to have a huge problem in your relationship if you're not on the same page.
No, yeah, and I agree. I mean, people have to understand, like in your case, like in my case too, I'm super friendly. I'm always smiling. Yeah. So if you can't handle my personality, if you think I'm always flirting, then don't date me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be dealing with that. I'm not going to be like,
but that's exactly
I'm not going to change who I am. I can regulate it a little bit, but not to the point where you change yourself.
Correct.
You regulate certain things, certain habits because you like somebody. I mean, I'm doing it because I love the person too, but not to the point where I can't be myself. Where now I'm like, I see a girl there, I'm going to be like over here, right? Like, looking like Orlando Bloom to the floor.
No, but you're looking at the floor near a girl can be cheating because we only know
I can't even look at the floor.
I want to quickly ask this question to the girls, and then we got to move on to the real. Do women cheat for different reasons than men? And when women, do you feel, ladies, listen to this closely. We talked about this too last week. Do you feel that when a woman is able to dominate and walk all over her partner, and betrayal's dirty, it doesn't mean women don't keep their values intact. I'm just saying, if problems arise in the relationship, that if she's the more dominant in the relationship, she's more likely to cheat, and easier for her to cheat almost because she has all the control. Therefore, psychologically, they say less respect. And let's say she does cheat and he takes her back. Does she look at him as weak and doesn't respect him? That was a lot. Lauryn, you want to pack it
What's
first?
the first part of the question?
I'll help you.
So I would say that I can't, me and you both, I think we're dominant women naturally. But if I'm dominant in my relationship and I can walk all over the man, like if the man doesn't put me in my place in a respectful way.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like there's a balance of being being masculine and putting me in my place versus telling me to shut the fuck up and, it's very
that
different.
We know all too well.
I've had that happen too.
Yeah.
But being the masculine and the feminine and being safe in that energy, it creates a respect. And I definitely think that women that don't respect their man are a lot more likely to cheat. And I can't be in a relationship with somebody that I'm more dominant than.
Correct. And I would agree with that. I want to just say about myself, Lauryn and Millie, we have good values intact and we have integrity. I'm not saying I personally have not been perfect my whole life. Nobody's saying that, but I think we're all well-rounded women at this point and would not. But we're just trying to say, like, that feeling, if you get that, I think we would all break up with them, but there are other women that they would definitely be more likely to cheat.
Oh, I know some women that yeah.
Millie?
They walked all over them.
I don't answer that because I don't think I have a dominant personality, so I don't know. But I don't want to be with someone I can walk all over.
But that, I think you do more than you think. I think you're very quiet, but you're very assertive when you want to be. And I don't think you cheat by nature either. But take David, act like it's not David. Let's say you did cheat. He took you back. Because I read all about this, right? This was we went through this. And Frankie, Julio, and I'll get people back on here. I tried to put a show together with more in and on that. It's too much to dissect. Mm-hmm. And I definitely want to do that. Do you think you would respect a man that took you back after you cheated? I think it's different for men and women. I don't think it's right.
I don't know.
I don't think she would do that. I think she would just leave whoever. If
she would never
okay.
cheat. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying, all right, I'm trying to.
You presented her with a quandary, is all I'm saying.
I said, take David out. I'm saying, if you took a man back that cheated, could you have that full respect?
I guess not, because I guess if I cheated on him, I didn't respect him.
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that. I think there's, whether it's right, wrong, you do it or you don't, there's no respect there. And whether it's you or him or whatever. I do think men and women probably cheat for different reasons. I think all high level guys. I think that women, it's more psychological driven and need. Sometimes men, it can be very much physical driven. So therefore, men won't make that detachment, and they'll still want to stay there, and women will take them back, and men can just thrive within the relationship. I think women, if they go back, will not thrive in the relationship, and it will be a repeated problem, or they will split up. That's just my thought from watching situations. Frankie.
I just think it's very interesting how the person who's being disrespectful by cheating now all of a sudden can't respect the person for having the heart and the courage to be forgiving, to forgive something so horrible, and yet the other person's like, I can't respect you for that.
Wait, say that one more time. I think you're right. It's disrespectful to cheat. What we're trying to say is the way a woman is psychologically made. I'm not trying to.
The reason doesn't matter. We're different. Men and women are different. It's the action that you take in the end what makes what makes it bad. Like, I ate too much because I was starving, right? Or I ate too much because it was my favorite food. Like, the reasons why you overeat doesn't matter. The action you did it's not good. So what I'm saying is, like, the woman cheats. She says she lost respect for her man. And, I mean, she never had respect for her man to do that. And more importantly, you know what? It's not even about the respect she had for her man. The person who cheats doesn't have respect for themselves. It has nothing to do with the partner. People tend to think it's, you didn't respect. No, you didn't respect yourself enough to be loyal, to keep your vow, to be respectful to somebody else because of who you are as a person. And that's how I see it.
Julia? David? Okay, no fleeting thoughts. So anyway, John, will you, I'm going to move on from this. Thank you, ladies, for answering. I know they're tough questions. It's a lot to think about and take in when you're trying to not make it personal and you're trying to think about it high level from just overview of what you see day in and day out. I always say betrayal is dirty. Communicate with your partner. John, will you play that reel by Bethany Frankel real quick? And so girls will comment on this, and then we'll quickly go into the sex reel so we can end with some sex.
Is that the Call Me?
What? No, not Call Me Daddy. The Bethany Frankel reel, the one where she says, I think these are the worst type of women. She has brown, crazy hair.
You know who the worst kind of person is? The woman who upgrades from their friends to who they think is like more elevated in society, or friends with their husband's friends, or richer, or at a better house in the cul-de-sac. Those people are pieces of shit. You always have to remember your friends from forever. Like, I've had the same friends since high school. I could tell them someone's in the backyard in a dumpster with duct tape on their mouth. I wouldn't even have to say don't tell anybody. But I hate fronting and stunting people who are so insecure and like so keeping up with the Joneses. It's literally what Housewives is made of. And I despise that type of person. Despise. So right now I'm about to go meet my friend, cheer her up.
So I think she's speaking to a very specific type of woman, but I do think that a lot of this ties into toxic women friendships, to trauma bonds, to the pick-me girl mentality of many women. And if you don't know what a pick-me girl is, it's kind of a woman that adjusts how she feels to get validation from a man, which I think every woman has kind of done in their life, but at the cost of shaming another woman. It happens to me all the time, and kind of going against the grain. So it's like, pick me. I'm not like other girls because I don't go clubbing until 1 a.m. Well, good bitch, I do. Like, I don't care that you don't, but I do. So there's no reason to do that in this sort of setting the way you're saying it. So if there's a pet peeve with me, it's pick me girls. I'm like, why don't you just say, pick me, Jess? I'm trying to make you look like a loser because you club all night. And, oh my God, I go to bed at 9 o'clock and read a book. That's amazing. but I don't. So those girls piss me off. I'm just using clubbing as an example. I think that ladies need to get real about what kind of friendships they're having. I think a lot of them are bullshit fake, and understand what place friends play in your life. There are party friends. There are friends that, we chit chat in groups at parties that we run into each other with families or this or that, or maybe we have a golf buddy. And then there's your people. And I think women need to really understand who their people are. The other thing that I'm really pet peeve with is mean girling, like just so fucking mean to other women. I mean, no matter what you do, they're just like, look at that stupid bitch. Oh my God, how is she dressed? Oh my God, this. And Facebook's the prime example of seeing women trash women the minute they fall from grace. A celebrity, it could be anybody. And everybody wants to see you successful. Your women are like, oh my God, I'm so excited for you, girl, until you do something that they think's better. Maybe you're not actually even successful. And then believe me, the shitstorm that runs behind your back. So I think women, we all need to do better collectively, but we also need to really figure out who we're hanging out with and know what energy we can allow and what works for us. So that was just a high level. What do you guys think of that? Because this has gotten out of control to me a lot on social media. Just women just shitting on other women. Lauryn?
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole like being a girl's girl, whether I know you or don't know you, I'm supporting you and I'm happy for you. If you're happy, I'm happy. But I also very much believe in having your circle. Like my circle has always been small. I am friendly and nice and not talking shit, not hateful to other women, but I know who my girls are, and I know who I can call, and I know who I can trust, and I know who I can tell anything and everything. The like my person kind of thing.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, and it sucks that you have to be that way, but it is what it is, because it is very common for women to, like you said, you go girl, fire emoji, all the BS that comes with it. And then the second that something happens and they hear some gossip or you dress a certain type of way or whatever, they're the first ones talking behind your back, making comments.
And I think as you get older, and Millie, I'll let you go next. I think as you get older, it changes for you. And I do give a fuck of my character and how I carry myself and how my intention is with other people. But I honestly give zero fucks. If you, there's no amount of money, there's no amount of anything. If you treat me with disrespect or negative energy, I don't want to argue. I don't want to talk about it. I just want you out of my life, and I will run from it. I will literally just run from it. And I can't tell you how scary that is, but also how relieving that is. And it's not fun. It hurts. It hurts that you're like, I've either evolved from this person or they've evolved in a different way than I have. It's super hard to do, but the minute I just can't, I get those vibes. And the more aware of yourself and the trust you have in yourself you get, you recognize that energy and go, oh shit, it's time to go out of this one in terms of a close-knit friend. Millie, what's your experience?
Well, I want to say I like being on the show because I learned stuff.
Yeah. What did you learn today?
You're welcome. I like teaching you, Millie.
Humility.
Mean girling and pick me girl. Like I read that a little bit before I came on because I was like, I don't know what that means. But I did not like that video that was shown. The lady like, oh, I have my friends and blah blah blah. I don't know. I think that it's.
Well, Bethany Frankel is never. She's actually smart, but she never comes across well. Like I could. Not
Yeah, the way she
stand her.
presented it wasn't great.
Well,
Yeah.
so listening to her, I was like, eh. And then listening to you, I'm like, okay, I can understand that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I mean, I agree with you. Like women now, well, I don't, not even now. I feel like since I've been a woman, there's been a lot of people.
Since you transitioned,
there are a lot of women that will seem like they're raising you up, and then when you get there, like you said, I don't know if they're jealous or envious or what it is, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff said behind your back.
I can promise you that everything with people, but since we're talking about women, and I've been that girl and had to do better. Everything is derived from jealousy and insecurity and projection on another of what you're lacking. Now, some people are just shitty people. I mean, and it's sad for them because they'll never have the life that we all get to have by living, in a better state of mind. But it's all you cannot. And Oprah had this reel, and I should have played it, and maybe I posted it on Tribe Called Jess, but you cannot be friends with people that are jealous with you. And she broke it down so eloquently, and Oprah, just the way she dissects and is able to, what do you call that? Project wisdom. It makes you understand you cannot be friends, not a man, not a woman, be a partner. You can't. It never works out. Those aren't your people. And I feel extremely blessed finally at 49 to find that group of girls that I super trust. That doesn't mean it didn't take work. Two of them I didn't talk to for a period of time. One of them, that was a while ago. You and I threw a cookie sheet at your head. Like, she'll tell you, I was terrible friend. And it was a long time ago. But I have such a great, solid group of girls that I trust and do have my best intention at heart. They do rally, and I rally for them, and they won't tell my secrets, and they don't call me crazy, but they'll tell me when I'm being crazy and I'm wrong, and I'm so incredibly grateful, and I can take it from them. And that's also important. What can you take from them? I can take brutal honesty. You're fucking up, Jess. And so I need friends like that know the delivery to me and know how to handle me just like I know how to handle. I love you too. We've been friends a long time. Lauryn?
No kiss.
Yeah,
And not in a flirty way.
Okay,
I think that's
not flirting.
one of the
Sorry,
most
Lauryn. Go ahead, Lauryn.
is being able to call your friend out, but in a respectful way. My best friend, she will tell me, like, anytime I am going through something in a relationship or whatever, I can call her and she's like, you're wrong. Like, you need to apologize, or you did this, or maybe you're not wrong, but maybe you need to look at it from this perspective. So I think that those are the most valuable women for sure.
I think they're valuable, but I think high level, if ladies at all are listening to me, please, just, like, stand on the values you're preaching. Like, if you say united we stand, united we stand, that we're united and we're for women, let's be for them. And when they take a misstep, I heard this reel, lead with empathy instead of judgment. Always lead with empathy. You never ever should lead with judgment. First of all, you never know where you're going to be, and karma is a bitch, and she's gotten me too before. And plus, you don't know what that person's going through. So I think that's the first step with women. We're great empathizers, and just stop trashing each other, like just this tear apart mentality, and stop doing nefarious things and fucking other people's men, because that's happened to me from friends too, and obviously you, Lauryn, talked about it as well. John, Jeff, any thoughts? And then we'll move on to some sex.
I got nothing.
Just stop eating other people's pets, please.
All right, John, will you play that reel on some sex? Did you get that one? Ladies, I'm going to set this up. And I had opinions. I took a poll on this, and surprising, the most responses were all from guys, and they were all the same answer.
Because men are united.
Did you and Orlando talk while you guys were like broken up, or no?
Wrong one. Oh, you don't have
That's
it?
the only other clip I got.
Oh, let me. Where's my phone?
Well, while you look for that, can I say something about the previous topic?
Yep, go ahead. Sorry.
A lot of that stuff, it is derived from jealousy. And then there's friends of circumstances. Like, eventually we are evolved, right? And we'll show what kind of friend we are. If we are in the same level, and then my friend levels up, I'm going to have some kind of jealousy, right? Am I going to let that jealousy now, like, consume me and be like, I start hating you and this and that, and because you succeeded? I'm only your friend because you were at my level or below me, but now that you're better, now I changed. So that's when you start growing in different ways, is when you'll see how your friends truly are. Because sometimes, I remember I used to tell myself, am I humble because I have no choice? Because this is the circumstances I'm in. But how would I be if I was better off? If I had a fancier car, if I had a bigger house, if I made more money, would I still be as humble as I am now? Am I humble because that's who I am, or because of my circumstances? So those are the things you got to work on yourself, because when your friends grow, I mean, of course, you sometimes going to feel a little bit jealous, right? But you got to check yourself. You got to be like, whoa, this is my friend. How do I feel?
And I think there's a lot that, like, I've made a ton of money and I've ate beanies and weenies, and I think I've always, in fact, I'm too generous when I make a ton of money. And I think that I've always had those values in check. And I never worry about success versus that. And I think it does change a lot of people. But I think you should, when people, women especially, when you feel jealous, the great thing about jealousy is it's normal. And it's not a bad thing. And we classify as bad. It's how you use it. If you use it to belittle someone and bring them down, then that's bad. But if you use it to level yourself up, it absolutely works, because I do it every time I'm jealous. Okay, all right, we have the real on sex.
My hot take is this is specifically for heterosexual relationships. Okay. It's men that say their girl doesn't have like a high sex drive, or they just don't want sex a lot, whatever. Those men are not meeting, say it for the people in the back, are not meeting their girl's needs. Whether that be physically or emotionally,
mentally.
They're not, like if a girl does not want to have sex, it's not because she doesn't want to have sex in general. Girls are horny. We're reading smutty books. We're watching romance movies. Why do you think we're watching those? It's because it's making us feel tingly inside.
Smutty.
I'm gonna let Lauryn and Millie take it first, and then I'm gonna say what I think. I'm gonna let the guys ask questions, and then we'll wrap up, John. But I want to tell you the poll real quick. So I took a poll. Most people that answered were guys, and the few girls that answered, I just checked because I wanted to make sure I had it right. All the guys said no, that's incorrect, and all the girls answered it is correct. I have a two-sided take on it, but I'm gonna let you guys take it first. Were you able to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say yes and no. So I think for the most part, the general population, I think that there are a lot of men that think that they're just, hitting it bullseye every time. And
Okay, 3.3s all the time.
As a woman that has a high sex drive, I would say that's super accurate. There are a lot of men that just think that they're like, their game is it and they can't get any better, and they're far from it. But I
love you.
But I can also say on the other side, like women, we do have a lot at play as far as hormones. So depending like where you're at with your hormones, birth control, non-birth control, age, whatever, I think that can play a role too. Because they've done studies where they showed women on birth control and not on birth control, how that can change who they're attracted to. I don't know if you've ever looked into that.
Yeah.
But that's pretty interesting too. But for the most part, yes, I would agree.
Real quick, I didn't realize people are on the YouTube chat. Laura, who I love, she walked away from a 27-year friendship because she was constantly putting her down in front of her new group of friends. Yeah, that's very common. And it's because when you go, people who don't know how to have different groups of friends and then they're all in front of each other in mixture, if someone's insecure, they're going to put you down, like in a mean way. I'm a sarcastic bitch, so I'm putting you down in a funny way all the time. All my friends. Equal opportunity sarcasm. Thank you guys on the YouTube chat.
Too, but in the
and
bedroom.
Alfonso Diaz, which one? What? Sorry, I missed that totally. That you guys and Foxy Gringa Sita. Well, we're all here, so we'll all take that compliment. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it should be whoa mamacitas, because all three of y'all.
And
I guess that's why they're asking which one.
Millie, what do you think of this?
I didn't agree with it.
Why?
Because if I don't want to have sex, I feel like it's me. Like I don't, like I feel icky or I feel some kind of way, so then I don't want to. I don't know.
Okay. And before I give my opinion, we close out this show. I'm not saying we can't have more discussion. We're okay. What questions you have around that reel or opinions you have on it?
You're asking me?
Yeah, I'm saying the guys.
I mean, I know you saw me, but I don't know if you were flirting or asking me. I mean, I think also age plays a difference. You know, when I was really young and in love with my partner, we were like, we thought we were going to have sex 4 times a day for the rest of our lives, right? Mm-hmm. But then circumstances change. You have a kid. Now you're tired. You have a lot of work, stress, responsibilities. Now your sex drive goes down. You gain weight. All this stuff affects you. You get sick. You get certain sicknesses.
Your back hurts.
Yeah, all that stuff changes. So I just think it's a matter of circumstances. But the one thing I do believe is, I agree with Lauryn. I mean, it has to also do with your partner, right? As a man, you have to. It can't be just about yourself. You have to communicate with your partner and make sure you do your best to please her, right?
I like that song.
What about you, David? I mean, what do you think about this?
I mean, you got to show interest in each other. If you're not interested in each other, then yeah, you're gonna have issues. I don't know.
It's true. Like we always say, if you communicate, then you or everyone's on the same page. It gets you where you're going.
You know what? But this, I don't think it's just normal just to be horny, like just horny. I mean, you could be horny for your partner, right? Turn me on,
emotionally
baby.
horny.
Turn me on, baby. But you just horny all the time.
There's nothing wrong with complimenting true
I'm
things
horny
about your partner
all the time.
You're gonna be emotionally horny too.
I
It's like,
am
I want him to compliment me so bad.
horny all the time.
Horny.
I mean, horny? I'm corny all
That's
the
what
time.
happens when you're born to bang, Jess.
I was
That's what
also
happens when
in
you're
my
celibate.
In my relationship, I was also horny. In my marriage, I was also horny all the time. Last time I was single, I was definitely horny all the time. And prior to that, so pretty much since, yeah. I am still celibate, almost 280 days as of, oh God.
So now she's really horny.
I know.
What's 13, 4? On Sunday, 280 days on Sunday, celibate.
Are we going for the year, Jess?
No.
At this point?
She's not keeping track.
I'm going out of town.
Is that what that dry chafing sound was when you walked by?
Getting meaner and meaner, too.
Shit's going to be right and tight.
That's-
I didn't say I didn't orgasm. I said I hadn't had sex. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
She's looking for 3.3 reasons to.
All right, so I think this is I'm 50-50 on this. So I think what they're saying is 100% correct in terms of when women feel unappreciated, disconnected, not getting those things. Because remember, men are very, very visual. I'm just talking biologically, physiology, whatever that is, driven, right? That's how they're driven. It's how we're made in generally speaking. So women connect in that way. And we're not able to emotionally connect with you, which is a part of you showing us appreciation and all those things. We might fuck you, but it's doing nothing for us because we can't have that bond. Now, there are times when I'm just a ravenous beast and I'm just, I'm not, of course, guys, of course. But in general, when you have an ongoing relationship, it takes work to keep that alive. And I can promise you that I am still horny, but I'm not screwing you for a reason if I can't connect with you.
Yeah.
So I will say I've been very blessed in terms of most of the time, obviously relationships, when they start going wrong, nothing's great, but like had good sex. But I do think it holds true now where I think they are young and that comes into play. And I had a discussion with one of my male friends. We talked about the hormones, Lauryn, testosterone being a big missing one for women. And more menopause studies and more studies, period, at all ages. Period. Where they're young is, it is also equally important for a woman to be letting her man know that, whether he's not appreciating her, whether he's not fucking her right, help her make her have an orgasm, whatever that is. If she's not communicating and having these conversations with her partner, then it's not fair to put all the onus on the man. So that's where I think the divide is. And I think that also comes with age. And I'm not saying any of my millennials or Gen Zs don't communicate. I think it becomes easier to communicate as you get older because you have a larger skill set in it.
Look, and as a man in the relationship, we have to do our part too. It's not just the woman communicating. You have to also grow as a man. When I was married, I started noticing how my wife acted before her period, during her period, after her period.
Was she horny as shit during her period and right before? Yeah.
It was a bloody mess.
If Nancy was here, she'd be like, yeah. Nancy loves that.
So that's important because that way you also know your partner and you work towards a goal because it's not just about satisfying yourself. It's about satisfying your partner. And knowledge is a great thing.
Jeff, do you have any comments here? Are you all about satisfying that emotional and physical side of a woman?
I think that she's mostly right.
I do,
but there's obviously exceptions when they've had trauma. They've had, I mean, whether it's physical or emotional trauma. They get older.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like to fuck. I'm 49.
time of the month. I mean, I know, but
stop fucking.
But there's some people who it goes away, all their hormones deplete and all that. So there's obviously exceptions, but I suspect that they're correct most of the time is what they said.
Yeah, I agree. And I do think ladies who are listening, and men too, because I think it's important for men, call, I say this, I sound like I'm a commercial, but call your insurance, see if they cover, and go, especially as you're aging, get those hormone tests. They're highly important, not only to your sex health, but to your psychological health. And men equally, we all deplete in different things, and that'll make, your life better sexually and your mood. So, and unfortunately, we don't have a lot of coverage. We're getting more and more coverage for it in the United States and paying better attention to it, but hopefully there's more and more of that up and coming, because it is really important. I think it affects, I know depression hit me with perimenopause, and now I'm out of perimenopause and back to 11 years old. Go ahead, John.
No, I was just going to say, I just got all my labs done. It was like $46 out of pocket.
Was it?
Yeah. Just
good.
Through a Jason, I don't know if we give a plug, but it's just a website. You can go buy labs. You can go through Quest and buy them directly. But
did you do like deep hormone testing though? Because I know it's like 500 and something for women when they go across the board and say, "Are you lacking estrogen, testosterone, this, that, and the other?"
How deep did you go, John?
Your results said what? You're horny?
3.3.
Hot to you want hot?
I just got my blood work done and I'm horny.
Did it say you're horny?
I said I was a little whiny bitch.
No, you're not. You're awesome.
Well, that's what I got. I got never mind.
We appreciate you every day. So before we leave, I think we all know I say sex, but we'll get to that. Everybody, any final thoughts on cheating, on flirting, on sex, on fucking, on my celibacy? A prayer for me that I find a guy. Lauryn, I want to start with you because we miss you.
Yeah, I know. I miss you guys too. I want to say that really, I think a lot of it can be solved by communication. I think a lot of people are afraid to have conversations and afraid to hurt people's feelings. And I think you just need to have a conversation, and you can do it in a respectful way and go.
And people need to be receptible to the conversations, right? If I'm saying, babe, I like to be effed this way or whatever that is, or I need you to be more caring because I need it, whatever that is, you got to be, the person on the other end has to be receptible to that and not get defensive all the time. I mean, now if I'm going to him like, you suck in bed, well, then I would expect to get defensive.
Too much teeth.
So any wrap up on the women or, any of the discussion that I missed not letting you add in, because we don't get you very often. So I want to make sure that we let you say what you want to say.
Yeah, no, I think I said everything. Just, be nice. It's not that hard to be nice.
Yeah.
Be positive.
And I love you, and I want to say you were one of my fastest friends in the last few years. I really value you. I can talk to you as if I've known you for 20, and I really do trust you. And I value that so much in a woman because it's so rare. For me, it's really hard for me with women. I struggle, and maybe that's my problem. But thank you so much for your friendship, for your support of everything I do, and just being a fan of our friendship, And Millie, any last words? And I value you. I love you to the moon and back, and then some. That'll never change. We've been friends so long. Cookie sheet and all to the head.
Yes,
I didn't hit her head, actually, guys. And I was drunk, in all fairness, and a boy had upset me, I think, and I was very upset. And I took it out on poor Millie. With the cookie sheet. I think it hit the wall.
Was it a cookie sheet?
Yeah, it was a whole fucking,
I thought it was a pan.
No, it wasn't a frying pan.
Well, a big old knife, but
Oh, no.
Yeah,
if
we're
it was
so
a
drunk, you
pan and it
remember.
hit you, I would probably be in jail for murder. So I'm so glad.
I'm so glad
Millie.
you missed.
No podcast, no nothing. No Botox in jail. I would be a hot mess. All right, go ahead. What's your final words?
I don't know. Everybody love everybody.
Everybody love
ELE.
Without flirting, though.
With boundaries.
With that, okay.
make sure that we have boundaries, guys. And I say that because your relationships will always be more authentic with healthy boundaries. If something I'm not doing is okay with you and you're not telling me, I don't care if it's friendship, relationship, when I've done this with my son, then I'm building up resentment. So don't be nice to everybody. Be authentic to everybody and set boundaries when you need to. And boundaries can be happy things too. Like, yeah, you can do whatever you want to my body, honey. That's a happy boundary, meaning your committed partner. So, Frankie, any final thoughts? Julio, David?
I just want to reiterate what Lauryn said. Be nice, Jessica.
You nickel and diamond bitch.
Nickel and diamond bitch. You know me, just a fucking nickel and David?
Hey, communication is a two-way street. So
100%.
If you want to be heard, make sure you're listening too.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
I just want to thank Taylor Swift for bringing back, I believe in a thing called Love by The Darkness.
Oh, God, that so good.
Oh, calm down, Jess. Relax.
So
Whoa.
good. No.
Whoa, we don't have enough time.
Her and Travis, I mean, her like you could tell she's an artist because they get so exaggerated.
She was like really into it.
Well, she sang. You never saw the video with her in it?
Yeah, the one that she did.
It's been an ongoing thing.
That
So
was great.
such a great song.
I thought she was about to like go down and Travis right there.
And I would. That would have been
I know. It's like, damn.
We could have sold that.
It's like, are they flirting?
Are they flirting? I think we've gone past. I wonder if she was like. I feel like at the end he was like, "Babe, let's come and bang."
I know. That was
I
definitely.
really do feel like as they were going through the door because he's like, I was like,
This is, you talking about when they were dancing at the U.S.
Oh,
Open?
and real quick,
Yeah.
before
Just like,
I
I believe
sign
in a thing
off,
called love.
I wanna give
the
a
haters
shout
are
out
like, "Ooh,
to
so inappropriate."
Dave Kepler, the GM of the Marlins. I know you are single now, and you are one of the hottest men I've ever seen. And I know you're not dating right now as well, and you are 49 like me, and you have 2 little kids, and I'm sure you don't want any more. So if you are dating again, please hit me up. I think you are the best thing since sliced bread. I like you. See, that's me
Ooh,
shooting my
sliced
shot.
bread.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. What do I always say? Life is too short for shitty sex and bad relationships. And if it isn't bringing you income, inspiration, or an orgasm, why are we fucking with it, guys? Please tune in next week. I don't know what I have up my sleeve, but I'm sure I'll have a lot to say. I'm sure Frankie will too, and maybe we'll be friends again by then.
And then we'll be up your vagina.
Thank you so much, guys. Take good care. Later. Thank you, Lauryn.
Bye, Lauren.
Love you guys.
Bye, Lauryn.
I love you. Call me Sunday. Call me Sunday if you can.
Listen to that song really